Last night, a line appeared, unbidden, unsigned. It had 8 memorable syllables.
I'll keep you, I said, falling asleep. It's gone now, and I write this to requite it and to mark its passage. Arvind's contribution to the idiom of Indian poetry is immense. He brought in a completely new way of looking at things through poetry.
A whole vast network, constellation of connecting worlds, which is what his work takes you to.
Arvind's poetry to me represents ideal of how to be a poet.
A conscious step towards almost minimalistic poetry.
Arvind could sort of, compress vast swaths of time into a short, sharp, luminous poem.
I would see Arvind as part of a larger group of Anglophone Indian poets who pointed the way towards living and working in a multilingual environment.
He called it Damn You. Damn You, a magazine of the arts. It was just 6 issues between 1965 and 1968, but I'm sure it had a tremendous impact in those early days of fresh new writing in India. Arvind's work and the work of his generation of poets influenced whole generations of poets who came after them. Certainly, I was one of them.
Found something adventurous in his encounters with various historical figures through his poetry.
In the introduction to the songs of Kabir, this kind of, which can be seen as a kind of betrayal of Kabir, is in fact the best way of being faithful to Kabir.
There's a beautiful line from one of his early poems which I've always held before me, and the line is, "A borrowed voice sets the true one free." And I think that's what happens when a poet becomes a translator.
His craft, I think, is very painstaking, but it comes across, his poetry comes across as being effortless and simple.
I'm so delighted that Arvind is being recognized in this way. He is an absolute force of poetic nature and culture.
It is such a wonderful thing to know that you have been named Poet Laureate.
It's your work as a poet, as a translator, as an anthologist, as a seminal contributor to our literary scene here and globally. I'm very happy that this honor has come your way.
Here's to a life lived in literature. It's an enormous gift. Thank you.